Evening, Pack 142. This is Mr. Keenan. Probably kind of dark so you can't see me, but that's okay. So I'm going to step over here, get some backlight going on. Is that better? All right. So tonight, we're going to be talking about the International Space Station. And it is supposed to pass overhead at 9:04. Now, I don't have my watch on me, but I do have one on the computer there. So I'm going to check it in 1 second. But what I'm going to do is bring the camera over here. I want you to zoom in on the computer screen. And this is a live feed. It does say previously recorded because I'll tell you in a second why they do that. But that's how the International Space Station, if you were on board right now, the Earth looks from there. And you can go and see this anytime you want. It's on nasa.gov, the official NASA website. And you click on live feed, video camera, and you can sometimes see the crew. And then this is the outside camera here. And so this is how, if you run a space station, you look overboard and see out the window. That's how the Earth looks. Now let me scooch over here 1 second so I can try to find out what time it is. It is 8:59. Okay, so now, let me film over here. So you're probably saying to yourself, all right, so how do I know when the space station passes overhead? NASA puts on a live feed and they tell you anytime in the world, you type in your zip code and it'll tell you when you can see the space station overhead. And I can provide the link for that too. I'll put that up on the PAC Facebook page and also send it out on the email. So what we did was we typed in 06812, which shows Danbury, Connecticut, and it told me that tonight at 9:04 the International Space Station will pass overhead. Pat, can you keep an eye on that clock in the bottom there? Make sure, let me know when it's 9:03, okay? All right, so now, how's it going to look like? It's going to look like a star. It's going to be a bright star. It moves really fast in a straight line. It doesn't have flash, red, yellow light. No, it's just a white light, and it doesn't flash. That's how you know it's a space station. But how do you know where to look? Well, according to what NASA told me, at 9:04, it will appear over the north by northwest part of the sky. Now, I know I'm facing north. I use the compass, so I know I'm facing north. Northwest. In between is northwest. It's going to appear someplace over there. Now it says it'll appear 30 degrees in the sky. A degree is the size of your fist. You hold the fist to the horizon. That's where the ground meets the sky. And you go 1 fist, 2 fist, 3 fist. And it says it'll start in the north by northwest. And it will end in the east. So it should go here, slowly rise, pass right over there, and land over the horizon that way. And so we're going to keep looking in this section. Hopefully, my coordinates are right. I might make a mistake on this one, so give me some slack here, okay? But I'm trying to make sure I remember how to do this now. So, Pat, what time is it?
9:01.
9:01. So let's talk about the International Space Station. So guys, what do you know about the space station up in the sky right now? Learn about it in school?
No.
Okay. It was launched in 1998. The first piece was put up there, and they've slowly added to it. So it's really big, and it's international. So that means that it's not one country. The United States, Russia, the Europeans, Japan, and I think China, we all put together, and we work on that thing together. And the space station serves as a laboratory, and it also serves as a spaceport for other nations to dock their spaceships to. Now, what happened yesterday?
Was launched.
A rocket, right? The Dragon was launched, right? And we had 2 astronauts on board. Now, you saw those 2 astronauts sitting in the spaceship? Mm-hmm. Right now, their spaceship, the Dragon, docked with the space station, and they're on board right now. So when you see that star go overhead, there are 5 astronauts on board. There's 2 Americans that just came on the Dragon. There's 1 American who was the space station commander. He was already living there. And there's 2 cosmonauts. You know what a cosmonaut is? That's what Russians call their astronauts. And so there's 5 men on board right now. Wait, time check? 9:02. Okay. So how fast is the space station going? The International Space Station goes around the Earth a couple of... Okay, it goes around a couple of times. It's traveling 17,000 miles per hour. That is really fast, right? So let's step out over here. And let's keep an eye on the sky in this section, and let's see if we can see a bright star passing from your right to your left. And I hope I'm right. Now, I see see a star over there? That is not the space station. Okay, that is a star coming out. It's glistening. Stars twinkle. Planets don't twinkle, and the space station doesn't. The reason why the star twinkles is because of the light, but it's further away. Space station is actually pretty close. It's only 240 miles above the Earth. I hope I didn't make that mistake. I'm going off the top of my head here. All right, so let's see if we can keep your eyes out and keep sharp and see if we can see that space station. And I'm just keeping an eye out over here to make sure it's not sneaking up behind me. I got my coordinates wrong.
I see the moon.
You see the moon, right? Now I hope that it doesn't that the trees aren't in the way. And that's the only problem. The best place to do this would be up at the high school or in a big field like at Squan's Pond or someplace where you have no trees around you. But right now where we're living, it's coming up low, and low 30 degrees, 1, 2, 3. I think those top of the trees might actually hide it. All right, Pat, any, can you check
I'll
the
see
top?
it.
Where?
Right there.
Yo,
Where?
straight up.
Okay, I'm blind. I can't see it.
You see the big opening in the trees right there. Look straight up.
There we go. Bingo. There you go. It's going the exact opposite of the way I called it. North by northwest. That's east. That's correct. See, my bearings are wrong. So you go northwest. There you go.
Just barely see down here.
Quick.
You
All
can
right.
just barely see down here.
But it's overhead there. So north, south, east, west. Yeah, I got my directions backwards. You see? I got myself backwards there. So, but it was correct though. It did come up in the northwest. You had your compass in front of you, and it travels and it's going to the east. Are you able to see that at all?
Yeah, you just barely able to see it.
So you see how bright it is. It's the brightness of an airplane, and it's moving at that speed.
Wow, that's fast.
That's really 17,000 miles an hour is really fast, guys. And you think about it, it's moving on board there. There's 5 people on board right now looking down at us. But that is an international space station, and it's been up there since 1998. Pretty impressive, right, guys? And just think the astronauts that you saw yesterday who were on that rocket ship took them 19 hours to go around the Earth and to dock with that. And they'll be up there for about 4 months, I think, doing experiments. Any questions? Okay, so what did we learn from this? Well, first of all, Mr. Keenan should check his coordinates by his compass and not get his directions backwards. So, number 2, though, once you get your coordinates down right, you will know that where you can find the space station. And they'll come back around again. It'll be back around tonight about 10:30. That's how it will go around the Earth and come back at 10:30. So an hour and a half will go around the Earth. You guys will be sleeping already. And it'll be back out again tomorrow, and it'll be back out the rest of the week. And then it slowly goes around the rest of the Earth, and we can't see it for a while, and then it comes back again. All right, I hope you all enjoyed this little quick talk about astronomy and about space stations. I'm really into space flight and to the future because you guys, you are the generation that will be in outer space. Maybe you won't go. Maybe you'll be operating stuff from the ground. Maybe you'll just know somebody. But when you are my age, people in outer space will not be unusual that people go out in the front yard to look at it. It might just be commonplace. But I want you to think that when you're a kid, you can remember this as being a historic milestone. Okay, thank you very much. This is Mr. Keenan saying you have a good night.